is Esther Marie Duar, and this is may or may not be the long awaited update coming from me. So, as you can see, if you can see the difference, I'm in a different location. So, as some of you may know or may not know, at the end of August, I flew back to Puerto Rico, to my hometown, home city, with my mom, my dog, and my family. I'm back in my house. That's why it looks slightly different. Maybe not the color of the wall. Now that I realize it's very similar to the other one. But yeah, you may hear the difference because there's more fan noises because it is very hot and humid in Puerto Rico. So fan is a must if you don't have a air conditioner. So yeah, this is gonna be like a writing live updates. I may or may not include some of the clips that I did back in Virginia, which I just mostly updated what I did throughout the summer, which wasn't much. I mainly just wrote down like summaries of every scene that I already had written in Millie's book. I also then redo the outline for Act 1 because the way that it was going, it's not really the way that I wanted to tell the story. So I decided to start again. As for Dad, I did started. I think I want to say I have like 5,000 words, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I haven't written that much for the new draft for Maylee's book. And I'm having a really hard time writing Millie's book. A lot of it was that my time was more allotted to my moving, and then once I came here, and that is not really a like super important, and me searching for a job plus me taking care of building a new online business, I still have time to write. But I realized that I wasn't writing as much as I thought I could and as much as I wanted. And partially or mainly at this point is mainly because as many I have said this plenty of times because this is not the first nor the last supernatural vampire kind of like Hispanic Latinx Latino book that's gonna be written or out there. It's not gonna be the last one, it's not gonna be the first one. But I had to be very careful because of the influences that I have growing up when we talk about vampires. Like pretty much all vampire lore that I know is mostly European. Interview with a Vampire, Dracula, um, just movies like the Underworld, series like Vampire Diaries, True Blood. Like, it's very European, Caucasian heavy lore. Um, and even though I did mix a lot of Puerto Rican culture, I had to be very careful not to completely emulate, and not like just European vampires, but in Puerto Rico. I don't want to do that specifically. So I'm having a hard time making the vampires in my book like um, different enough to feel new, but at the same time, I want readers, whenever this book is out, to be like, oh, I understand these vampires because they are able to kind of like slightly compare them to others and be like, oh, this are the similarities, but these are the differences. And I'm like having a hard time with that. Also, I'm kind of like having a hard time finding Millie's voice. I know a lot of people say not to worry about it in the draft, but it feels like almost every other scene or every few scenes she sounds different, and it's, even as a writer, it's confusing for me because I'm like, girl, like, decide who the heck you are. um so yeah, I moved my deadline, so instead of finishing Millie's book by the end of this month, September, I just push it by the end of the year. As long as I finish it by the end of this year, I will be okay. And I did that because I may or may not, I'm still not sure, I may or may not participate from NaNoWriMo with a different book. So yeah. Um, Life wise, I'm glad that I'm finally like in warm weather with my family at my own place. Obviously, my bills have lowered significantly, so that has lowered my stress and my anxiety a lot too. Um, and I'm still haven't decided. Like, I have a good amount of job opportunities and job offers that I'm looking at. So hopefully in October I will be either working full time or part time, whichever I decide is the best decision for me and for my family. And I'm also slowly but surely building my own online business. I'm yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been thinking how I'm gonna launch my self-publishing author career, but that's mostly for Spanish books. Even though I think I may do it like Spanish and English. I'm still kind of like thinking about it and see how I'm gonna plan that, because that's a different type of enterprise. This is a different kind of journey. So there's a lot of planning. There's a lot of things that I have to consider. And there's a lot of things that I want to write that I am writing, or that I will be writing in the next couple of months that are left in the year. So, yeah, probably some of you, if you follow me on my social media, mostly Instagram, you probably have read some of these updates on my blog, because I did some blog posts, writing wise and then life wise. And I have a couple other posts that are already scheduled. So if you're gonna want to know that kind of thing, if you want to know like social media type of things, because I've been experimenting a lot with social media, and see what works and what doesn't, and I'm sharing some of the things that I have learned on my blog posts. Again, all of that link is on the description. If you follow me on Instagram, you will get like a post letting you know that. I usually do that the same day that the blog post comes. Also thinking about starting a newsletter. I may do something like a newsletter at the beginning, like quarterly, like 2 quarterly newsletters. So one with what I want to achieve and all that, and then at the end, kind of like touching on what did I achieve and why, what I didn't achieve and why. And I probably will give more detailed updates about my writing, like if I'm working on Millie's book, or if I'm working on another book. I'm still kind of like thinking about that. But if you prefer to get your updates about my writing journey in written form and not on a video, I will recommend to go to my website and subscribe. That will get you on the newsletter. And again, I'm just thinking max 2 per quarter. That's gonna be the max. Probably it's just gonna be 1. Who knows? I'm still thinking about it, depending on the actual time that I have, and the actual goals that I have for that quarter. So yeah, I very excited that I'm back home. Gonna start thinking of what I can do writing blog wise for this channel now that I'm in Puerto Rico. At the very beginning, it might be just around my house. I will probably film when my mom is not here or when she is taking her nap. Anyways, we'll figure that out, and you will see whichever type of videos I ended up doing. I sadly never was able to do like a Goodbye Virginia video. I really didn't have enough time to go out and take some footage. But I mean, I have some blogs that will be as a reminder of the place that I lived for 4 years. When I started blogging, it was in an apartment that I lived for think 3 of the 4 years. It was a really good place for me. I didn't have my people close by. I will miss my friends in Virginia and all the shenanigans we got ourselves into. But I'm really happy that I'm home with my family, my friends, and heat. I have a lot of fans around me, but I wouldn't change it for anything. I cannot do winter. I cannot do cold. Not anymore. I can do as a vacation, but not living there. So yeah, I thank you for watching. If you would like to share any goals, any things that you have done, anything that I have missed about your life while I was MIA, leave that in the comments. I would like to know, have you been on the last couple of months that I haven't posted anything? And if this is the first time watching, I will probably recommend to watch kind of like the writing vlogs, maybe the 10K in a day, that kind of video. Those are more entertaining than this one. But if you're watching this one and you're already all the way here, thank you for giving me your time and hearing me out. Hopefully you find the content interesting, or myself amusing, or my accent amusing, whichever prompts you to keep watching. Hopefully subscribe. You don't have to. And if you like this kind of like update, and you're glad that I'm back in warm weather, hit the thumbs up. And I'll see you guys on the next clip. Bye.